What's up, guys? Since yesterday I didn't have time to make a video game review, I'm going to go ahead and just put it up today. Today's video game review is going to be a little bit different because I'm actually going to review a Wii game. This game is actually one of my favorite games of all time. I haven't really talked about it because it's a Wii game. I've mostly talked about Xbox games. But I have been playing this game since I was a little kid. It's actually Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon I've been playing since I was pretty young. I still play it to this day, just because it's such a great game. Um, the first Harvest Moon game that I started to play was Harvest Moon 64. That was the first game that I ever played for Harvest Moon, so I didn't play the Nintendo Harvest Moon. But Harvest Moon 64 was so much fun when I started to play it that I just got hooked. And I've played every Harvest Moon after Harvest Moon 64 except for the handheld ones because I don't have a handheld system. If I did, and when I do, I definitely am going to get the Harvest Moon games that I could play for or on the DS. But for now, I'm just going to talk about the games that you could play on the Wii. So first, the first game that you could play on the Wii that wasn't made for the Wii, was actually made for the GameCube, is Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. This one, I was actually looking for a Wonderful Life. I bought it at a place where you rent movies, and they actually gave it to me with another Wonderful Life inside, not A Wonderful Life. A Wonderful Life is the boy version, and Another Wonderful Life is the girl version. So when I opened it, I saw the girl version, and I was like, what? I kind of wanted to play the boy version first, and then Another Wonderful Life, because A Wonderful Life came out before the girl version. This one came out in 2004, and Another Wonderful Life came out in 2005. But I ended up playing Another Wonderful Life first. I played this one afterwards. But I'm glad that I was able to play Another Wonderful Life first, actually, because it's actually a little bit better than this one. Either game, both of them, the biggest difference is that you're a boy in one of them and you're a girl in the other one. This game is probably, out of all the Harvest Moons, out of the ones that I've played, not including the handhelds, is probably the most realistic game when it comes to Harvest Moon. It's one of my favorites, and I'll tell you why in a second. First of all, for those of you that don't know about Harvest Moon, that you don't know what it is or anything, this game is not for everyone. I will tell you that right now. A lot of people think it's pretty boring. It's not a very fun game to watch someone play, because Harvest Moon takes everyday chores and makes it into a fun and addictive gameplay. Basically, in all the Harvest Moons, you own a farm, and you basically have to make a life out of what you make on that farm. So you crop vegetables and fruits, and you also raise animals. And of course, there's the other aspect of Harvest Moon, that you raise a family. So you get married, and in some of them, you have a kid. The cool thing about that is that you get to, it's a very sociable game, so all the characters in Harvest Moon, whether they're people that you could marry or not, you could become friends with everyone. So it's a really cool game because it's kind of like The Sims, I guess, but I think it's better, and it's also a lot like that Facebook game, that It's about a farm. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure Farmville, I think it's called. People like love that game so much. I know a lot of people that play it, and I don't know why people play that like crazy. I mean, maybe because it's easy and it's like, um, it's on Facebook and stuff. But Harvest Moon is like 10 times better than Farmville. If you're into Farmville, I would say try playing Harvest Moon because it's so much better. It's more realistic than Farmville, because Farmville's like, if you want strawberry milk, you get like a pink cow. And I'm like, and you get strawberry milk because cow's pink. It's like, I've never seen a pink cow. In Harvest Moon, it's more realistic because if you want strawberry milk, you get milk from a real cow, and you just put it in a blender with strawberries and you got strawberry milk. So it's more realistic. In A Wonderful Life and Another Wonderful Life, the animals are so cool. I wish they kept this concept of the animals from this game, from these two games, for all the Harvest Moon games, because it's so much more realistic from the other ones, because I'll explain it why. In the previous Harvest Moon games, and in the ones after this one, if you want your cow to be pregnant so you can have another cow, all you have to do is use this cow miracle potion, and it's just this little thing that you just throw it over your cow and your cow's pregnant, like voila. In this one, you actually have to have, actually I think it's only in Another Wonderful Life, I'm not too sure, but this one has it with other animals, where you have to have a male. Like your chickens, you have to have roosters and chickens, or roosters and hens. You have to have a bull and a cow. You have to have a male sheep and a female sheep. And I think you use the miracle potion anyways, but you have to have the males there so that you can get them pregnant. And I thought that was awesome. I loved that idea. After that, and before this game, all the animals were basically females, because they could all get pregnant, except for your horse. Your horse has always been male, except for recently you could make your horse pregnant. But another difference about this game and Another Wonderful Life is that the marriage candidates, there's a few of them. There's only 3. In A Wonderful Life, there's 3 girls that you could marry one of 3 girls. In another Wonderful Life, you can marry one of 3 guys. Both games have the same characters and the same town and everything. It's basically the same storyline. There's a few differences. On the girl version, you could have different outfits, and I think you could remodel your home. I'm not sure if that was in Wonderful Life, but you could do a few more things in Another Wonderful Life, so I like it better than this one. But a lot of it is kind of, they're both kind of the same. One thing that this game was lacking was the characters. The characters were pretty boring in the village. I loved how the village looked like. It looked like an old village off in the mountain, like in a forest kind of thing, where the houses kind of looked like they were cabinish, like a cabin. Like your house looked almost like a cabin, and I loved the feel of it. It was a cool town. I liked it. But the villagers were some of them were memorable, where you're like, oh, he's cool, but a lot of them were really boring, where you're just like, so that's one thing that this game lacked, was the villagers. And the marriage candidates, they weren't that great. Especially since you only had 3, you kind of had to stick to one, and that's it. But it was a good game. It's definitely a game that you should play if you like Harvest Moon and you've never played one of these games. I'd say play Another Wonderful Life, the girl version. It has a little more. It has a little more than this one, little things, but it's cool. The additions are definitely worth you playing Another Wonderful Life over A Wonderful Life. And it's really cheap. I mean, it's a game. It's a GameCube game, so you can get it for really cheap and play it on the Wii. Now for another GameCube game, Harvest Moon Magical Melody. A lot of people, some people don't really talk about this game. I think this was the first one that you could actually choose to be boy or girl. And this one, the unique thing about this one is that it has a very chibi feel to it. I don't know if you know what chibi means, but it's kind of like a cute feel. You know, like in anime, you've got your normal anime, and then you've got like the cute version where their heads are a little bit bigger than their bodies and they're shorter. And they have like these big old eyes. That's chibi, and that's what Magical Melody was meant to look like. A lot of the Harvest Moon kind of have that feel already anyways, like that cartoony cute feel, but Chibi just takes it a little further than that. Or I mean Magical Melody, I'm sorry. This game I thought I wasn't gonna really like, but it's actually pretty fun. It's more of some Harvest Moon games, a lot of them, the old ones have like that top-down feel where you're looking down. In Another Wonderful Life, the camera changes a lot, so it's different. Sometimes the camera like moves behind you, and it's cool. It's fine. But this one's always like looking above you, so you're kind of you're seeing your back of your character when you're running around. And if you look forward, it's kind of like in an angle, And then when you talk to people, it does zoom in a little bit, but yeah, it's more cartoony. It's not very realistic, but it's worth playing. The animals are really cute on this one. You get a pig. You start off with a pig and I think a dog. You've never had a pig before, so this is cool. The pig will find little treats for you outside, like mushrooms and stuff like that. You have basically all the animals that you did before, so the cow, the sheep, and the horse. There are no males. This is just the females. I guess the horse is always a male, except for the game that I'm going to talk about later. There are wild animals in this one, like there's a raccoon, a turtle, and a monkey and stuff like that.